Thank you, Tyler. No. All righty. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. So glad to have this time with you all. We are super excited about YM. We realize that may not be what everyone else is feeling at the moment, but we are here because we believe in this product. We believe in what it can do for us, and most importantly, what it can do for you, for organizations. So for some of the reasons of why we did this is it creates ownership of professional development for organizations and individuals. And it actually really provides a lot of freedom for your HR professionals to provide integrated tracking and enrollment. With that, it also allows more professional development pathways to be able to kind of view that. It brings growth to the sector. That's what I'm most excited about with this, is because we're building the capacity of other organizations. And you all will have this feature that we'll be using, and Angie will tell you a lot more about it, but it's really developing the culture of partnering with organizations where we are more of the hub and we're helping everyone to get out of kind of their silos and be part of the nonprofit ecosystem. So that's the longer term of why we're really excited about this particular program. It is about creating more symbiotic relationships, and with that, I mean, we really just want to help you all get integrated with it, connect with others, ultimately just have a lot of things at your disposal that before were in multiple different places that took us as humans a lot to find and locate and caused a lot of frustration on both ends. So we're really happy to be able to provide automated certificates of completion and get those distributed easier. We have automatic email reminders, grades, and things like that can all be tracked, attendance, and the most important thing for y'all is discount codes. So we're really happy about that because we're able to provide discounts now. And as you can see, there was the early bird one that was going on. So with that, just want to encourage you to have an open mind and be as open to receive this from us, because we are really excited about it. We know that change is crummy and we've gone through so much of it lately, but I promise you, we didn't do this to make anyone's life more difficult. It's definitely an improvement and definitely a way to make things flow better for all of us. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Angie.
Unmute yourself. Oh, thank you so much, Christiana. I almost started talking on mute. Okay, so as Christiana mentioned, we are excited about this. It has been a little frustrating on our end, as all technology is. It's been a months-long process. And we know that whenever we roll something new out, it can be difficult. So that's why we wanted to start this and make it as easy as possible. It really has to automate a lot of things that we were spending much too much time on manual things for the last 20 years, instead of really doing the work that we want to work with you. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a PowerPoint presentation or anything. I'm going to just take you through the processes. So I'm going to have a few points where we'll stop and ask for questions, and then we'll do a lot of Q&A at the end. If you have something really specific to your organization, like I don't know my username, send Zanny a chat, and she's going to be working behind the scenes, and she can get all of that stuff for you. That's really specific. If you have a question that, of course, people would benefit from, because a lot of people may have that question, how do I find this? Wait, you lost me about that. Please go ahead and ask those as well, or put them in the chat, and we'll have those monitored. So, right, and also fix your Zoom screen so you can see my screen. You don't need to see the rest of us that much. So I am going to be looking at my screen here, and this is our main website, npsolutions.org. And the way you access the portal is through the member portal right here. You can also do it through membership, through here, join and renew. And you can also do it from the schedule for the workshop page. It will now jump to there. But we're going to enter through the member portal. And this is members.npsolutions.org. So it's a subdomain of our main domain. So you can also just bookmark this. And if you ever want to go back to the main website, it's right here. But here's some of our pages. And if you ever need to find home, it's of course on this logo, which sometimes is a little confusing. We like the fact that we can now really advertise some of our upcoming events. So theirs will always be on the front page. You're going to go here to sign in. You are a current member. So you're going to sign in. And that's going to open up a new page. Now, Google sometimes is causing people problems because if you have your autofill on here, it's going to, try to sign in with separate credentials. So just be aware of that whenever you're using Google Chrome. So I'm going to first have to delete that. I'm going to sign in as one of our test organizations. So the most important thing I can tell you as organizational administrators is to use your main org username. So the most confusing thing for you all is you actually have two login accounts because you're a person and you're the one running your organization. So our recommendation to you is to use your main organization username. Otherwise, you won't be able to see like how to renew. Because if you use your own email address, which is people's individual usernames or their email address, you won't be able to see any of the organization stuff. The organizational username was provided to you at the beginning, but Zanny's here. If you can't remember yours, go ahead and send her a message. She'll send it to you. And it's usually a form of your name. We've been using a lot of your domain names. So, for us, it'd be NP Solutions because that's our npsolutions.org. So if you need to know your username, let Zanny know. Our username for this one is abctest.org. And I'm going to put in what I hope is the right password. No, I think I typed that wrong. abctest.org. Need to look at my fingers instead of the screen. There we go. Okay, so we are in. When you log in as your main organization, you're going to come to this page. This is what you're going to see first. How do I know I'm with the right account? It up here will say welcome ABC organization. Okay, otherwise it would say welcome Angie Meyer. So this is the main account settings page for you. And I wanted to point out here first, we're going to go through kind of all of some of these things here. So the quick links is where you can find our workshop schedule. We're working on getting some members only resources available to you, just some things that we get calls for our resource library. We're going to start putting those on here. And it's our FAQ page. So I really want to highlight this FAQ page. You may want to bookmark this. So the FAQ page has a complete user guide, and it also has just brief instructions. These are all PDFs that you can download. So I am actually going to open this. And this is the user guide that we refer to use. So this is something that Zanny put together, and we're so thankful that she did this with a lot of wonderful screenshots as well. So it's kind of showing how you sign in. And the first time you sign in, you will be directed to update your password, which you've probably done. So, and then it's going to be talking about adding team members, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. So that's from the FAQ page, and it comes from quick links. Okay. So you'll see here that my membership, I'm getting this banner that says my membership at ABC organization is going to expire at the end of the month. So I want to take care of that. We are no longer going to be sending invoices to you. It is going to be done automatically through YM, which is short for your membership, which is the company that we went with here. So for those of you ending at the end of this month, you already received your automatic renewal. And it's a little confusing because it doesn't say, make sure to use your username. We're changing that. So I'm going to click on Renew Now. And then it is going to create an invoice that you can give to your accounting. So right here, it's going to say, please review to make sure your information is correct. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do that first. So it's sending me back to this page because it wants to make sure that there hasn't been any changes. This is real important for us. So if your email has, or your address has changed, if your executive director has changed, if your budget has changed, all of that you can update there. So I'm going to say, nope, this is all the same. And I'm going to save my changes. So now it's going to take me directly to how to renew. So I am a Sweet Deal member and I want to continue to be a Sweet Deal member. And it will tell you a little bit about what the options are and the fees. So I'm going to keep my Sweet Deal. It automatically, when I put in my budget, will calculate my invoice. So I'm going to keep that as Sweet Deal. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say my billing address is the same. And I'm not making any changes, so I don't have to update that. And now if I scroll down for renewing, I have an option to do check or money order, ACH, and credit card. The bill me is only for my account, so I'm going to check that just because it's easier when we go through this. But you can go ahead. If you check or money order, it will create an invoice for you that you can then send to your accounting department. And then please know that we have a 30-day grace period on your membership. So if you need to pay at the middle of the month, it won't automatically go off at the end of the month, okay? Because we know that the checks take some time to get in. So we do have a 30-day grace period. If you want to go ahead and submit by check, you can do that and it will create an invoice. So I'm going to actually pick that, I think, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, and then this just says, welcome. So it is showing that I've renewed. Here I can view my receipt. So I'm Dolly Parton with the ABC organization, and this is my invoice. If I had paid it, it would show paid across that, like if I had done a credit card. So that's how I renew. And I'm going to go back to, back to my profile. Okay. Any questions on that so far? Okay, so this is my profile. You can see that you can add your logo. I add a little ABC. I can add photos. This is how we're going to connect to each other. Okay, when I go back to that, here's my quick links. I'm going to show you a little bit more of that at the end, but what I want to do is now talk about how to add team members, because I know that that is an issue. So in order to get there, I have to go back to account and settings. So if you're coming in on any other page beside that, you find it with welcome, account, and settings right here. And this is the page that we started with. You'll notice it's not telling me to renew anymore because I just took care of that. So welcome, account, settings will get me here. Then I can go ahead and look at, I do have an open invoice. Here it is. So I can pay it, I can print it. I can see past invoices. So if I click any status, I can see the membership dues that I've already paid, or if I have any event registrations, which for this one I do not. So how do I deal with team members? Okay, so that one you're going to go to information and settings right here, information and settings. This is going to be really important for you to spend a lot of time on. You can have preferences. This system can do so much. We're really excited about it, but it can be overwhelming. So right now we don't have blogs set up. We don't have all the form settings, but we're really hoping to. So this is where we're hoping to go and really make your membership worth more. But for right now, this is some of the community settings. You can change those, privacy settings, you can change those. But I'm gonna go to here, team members. Okay, so here's where I'm at on our FAQ document. So I go to welcome, and then it'll be your organization, account settings, information and settings, team members. Okay, so I'm right here. And you can ignore the top part here. Everyone gets kind of unlimited, which is 999 seats. That's how many people you can add. So first of all, I'm going to see who is already attached to my account. As you know, we brought over everyone that we had in our system or that you updated with this past summer. So I am Dolly Parton in this scenario, and I also have my own membership username, login. So I can see myself here as well. And I have two colleagues, Elvis Presley and Sam Cooke. If you ever see somebody is suspended, I just wanted to point this out. That's probably because we didn't pay our renewal in time, and so everybody was suspended, but it's really easy. All I have to do is enable it. You can also suspend a person too if you want to make sure that they don't get access to your benefits for a limited amount of time. So I am going to go ahead and enable Elvis again. So now I'm going to see these icons. Okay, I can edit the bio, which you're probably not going to want to do. And if Sam no longer works for the organization, I can take them off. So you can detach this member's account, and we would like you to do that. When you go into this, if there's anyone that's no longer there, please detach them from your account, because then we can just get rid of them from the system for now, and they won't have a lot of bounces. I can also view the profile, which really doesn't show you very much because we have privacy settings set up. We're working with YM on how to get the master and sub accounts to see each other better, but right now we're just trying to protect people's privacy. So that one doesn't help you very much, but the sign in as member will. I'll show you that in a minute. So I have Sam, Dolly, and Elvis right now. That's it. So I want to add somebody. In fact, I think I'll just add me. There's two ways you can do it. Okay, so this is to add your team members. One is you have a direct link. This is keyed to your organization. So I can send an email from my own email and send it to, you know, whoever I want in the new company, new employees, and give them this link. And if they follow that link, they can set up an account for themselves. I can put whatever information I want in there. I can give directions, like if you want to sign up for a paid workshop, you have to talk to me first, you know, however you want to do it. So you can either send a direct link, or you can put an email in here, and then I'll just put my own, and they're going to get an automatic email. Okay, so you can just send invites that way. It's super easy. I did this morning for a few organizations, so you can just send an email that way. I'm going to jump over here and see if I can grab that and just show you what it looks like. Okay. Okay, so here's the email that just came through. And it's saying ABC organization is a member of nonprofit with professional development benefits. You have been invited to join. So I can accept that invitation, which I'm not going to go through because I'm already signed into something, but it directs them to create their own username. They would use their email address, create a password. And again, there are some of you that don't want your employees to be logging in and registering themselves. That is totally fine. Our registration system has always been public. It's always been on our website. It was then on Eventbrite. And so, you know, people could register themselves, but if you don't want that to happen, that is fine. We do recommend that they still have accounts, because otherwise they won't be able to access some materials if they're in like a cohort group or something like that. But you can completely tell them, you know, how you want to do it. If you don't want to send them anything because you just don't want people to know, that's okay too. You can create team members all by yourself. You just have to do the work then. You'd have to add the email address, the name, and all of that, and you would just have that on the back end. So there's 3 different ways that you can create team members. One is you can do it yourself. You can send them a direct link in your own email with your own directions, or you can do the easy way, which is just send them an automatic one. Okay, any questions on that? So far, so good? Okay. So from here, we're going to take you to registration, because that's what, of course, most people want to do. So the important thing is, even though I recommend that you always log in with your organizational username so that you can see all of this information, you are going to need to be an individual to register for a workshop. So organizations can't take workshops. Only people can take workshops. So we've set it up to make sure that you have to be an individual. So if you want to take a workshop, so if I want to, as Dolly Parton, all I have to do is sign in as myself. And that is in this FAQ. So this is all how to add a new team member. This does talk a little bit about those icons as well, if you want to know more about them. And this is what you can see and how you can see your payments and things. And we'll go over that in just a moment though. The membership history, I showed that a little bit. So how do I register for workshops? The FAQ document reminds us that to complete the following, you must be signed in as an individual member. Organizations are not able to register for events, but you can do it easily through your account. You don't have to log out and log back in. So what you're going to do is sign in as that member. So in this case, I want to sign in. I'm going to sign in Elvis. I'm going to register Elvis and Sam for a workshop coming up. So I'm going to sign in as this member. Actually, I think I'm going to do Sam. He's got more going for him there. He's got more things he's already taken. Oh, let me go back because it's trying. The problem is I'm also signed in as me, I think. So, okay, because it's got my admin back here. Let me try that one more time. Worked when I did it earlier today. No, it's sorry guys, you won't have this problem. The reason it's doing that is because I'm still on my admin account as well. All right, I'm going to try it one more time. Let me see here. And it's trying to get my credentials in here. If you have any questions, now is a great time to ask them as I'm troubleshooting through this. I don't know why it's not working like it did this morning when I tested it.
Is it possible to restrict the employees that we add to the account to, say, for example, so we qualify for sweet deals? Mm-hmm. Is it possible to just say anyone can just enroll on sweet deals and not, you know, like kind of like for the ones that need to be extra payment, then those, you know, either are not allowed without an approval or just like need an extra, I don't know, something like that. Is that possible in the system?
Absolutely. So in fact, that's a really good question I want to bring up. When you register, when people register, they have access to the account membership discount, but there's no money on your account. So it's not like they can be spending the company money without anything. So if I register for, let's say, Excel Advanced next week, it's $85 for a sweet deal. I would have to have a credit card. I would have some way to have to do that. So I would probably have to go to you, Ingrid, then to be able to say, hey, I want to take this workshop, right? Or I'd have my own credit card. So there's not a way in the system to stop them from registering, but you certainly would stop them from paying any money because there's no money on the account, right? So the only way to do that is to just make sure that people would know the rules like they had to before. So because, you know, they could have always registered for workshops. So you would just have to tell them, well, maybe you can register for workshops that are free, but if anything's paid, you need approval. Or maybe your rule is you can only register for workshops on these days of the week because of scheduling, you know, we need you. So you have to get permission from your supervisor or something like that. However you want to set it up, you can, but there's not a way besides suspending an account. There's not a way to do that in the system.
Got it. Okay, just wanted to know. And I know that that was a possibility before with the public site, but the way that we had it set up in the museum was always that they would have to come through us, regardless.
And that's so. In fact, when you register somebody, there's two ways people do it. Some people have everybody register. So some of the people here in this room just let people register for what they want to register for, you know, and knowing that if it costs money, they have to go to you. Other places say, I do all the registration, and that's very common. So there's several of you here that do that, and all of the registrations go through you. So you handle all of that. And that's how we're kind of showing you how to do it. This is how you would do it. Okay. And Zanny, if there's other questions in the chat, if you could help with those. And I have no idea why Sam is not showing up for me today. And I'm not happy because I promise I tested this. Okay, so I'm going to use Sam's. Zanny, can you send me Sam Cook's credentials? And I'll just have to do it this way. I think it's because down here I can go to the admin dashboard, which of course we're not going to do, but any other questions right now? You sure? Now's a good time. Okay. So what I'm going to do while we're waiting to do that is I'm going to jump ahead to some of the other cool features. So we're going to talk about how to register members from your perspective. So for example, as Ingrid asked, if I am going to control all the registration, this is how you're going to do it. And it is found in our FAQ document. And we're going to test that in just a second, but we're going to go here. I want to show you some of the other cool things that this can do. One of the things is it's really can act as like a LinkedIn, our own nonprofit LinkedIn. So I can go to my profile as the organization. Oh, it's just logged me out completely. Okay. Let me just start all over here, y'all. abctest.org. Tweet. If you're trying to log in with lots and lots of accounts, I will tell you that this has a lot of issues. When I'm trying to go and back and forth, it is an issue. Okay, so here's my profile. I can add photos. So if we have a gala and I want to share those, I can upload those. I can see who my team members are. Okay, up here. I can add, as I said, I can add a photo really easily. There's also connections you can make and messages you can send people. We do have privacy settings set up that you can't bombard anybody, but I can make some connections with other nonprofits, and we can send messages to each other. But the feed is what we think is really cool. So it's over here on the far left-hand side. It's the feed. And this is our own personal LinkedIn feed, if you will. So this is where we can share with you events that are happening. So for example, we have several workshops happening in January already. A marketing one, becoming an upstander, so inclusion and equity. Burnout, I'm going to be facilitating that in person on the 20th. Little shameless promotion here. So we've got some things here, and then you can comment on those. So ABC organization may say, we would like to come, okay? So I can comment on somebody else's post, and I can also post something myself. So we're really encouraging people to use this as is convenient to you, and start connecting to each other. So let's say I see a really neat article that I want to share, and then ask a question, you know, has anyone looked into this? And I want to start a communication, a conversation about this. You can also share some of your events that are coming up. You can promote your events. We really want you to use this as is beneficial for you. I can do this as an organization. I can also do this as myself. The other thing that is cool about this is groups. We haven't used this a lot yet, but we're going to be. We do have a group set up you can join. This would be anyone that's a volunteer administrator. It's the old volunteer administrator network, which is kind of defunct, but we've taken it over. And so this is a group that you can join. And then that group can have its own conversations. Maybe you want a group sometime about or nonprofits that are in the health education sector, or maybe social services. You know, you all could talk to each other as well. We're going to have groups that are associated with our cohorts, like our learning groups, and we're going to start doing those within here, so it facilitates more discussion. So that's some of the community social networking features. Does anyone have any questions on those? We haven't used them a lot, but we're going to be optimizing those, we hope, soon. Okay, I've got,
Angie, you've
yeah,
got the
ahead.
stuff in there now, so you should be able to log in.
Yeah, I saw it. Thanks.
Okay.
I don't know why it was, well, it's doing that to me just to, you know. Let's try it again. It might actually work. So I'm going to go back to account settings. This is just how to remember. Okay. And I'm going to go to my team, which is under information and settings, team members. How are we doing on time? And I'm going to sign in as Sam. Ah, it worked. Sorry, Sandy, I had you do all that work. It's because it had me sign back in again, I guess. Okay, so preferences, again, you can change those. I'm just going to save my settings. Okay, so I am now welcome Sam Cook. So now I can see that I'm a person. So I want to register Sam for a workshop. So I'm going to go to the workshop page, which is under the quick links workshop. It'll open in a new page, so I can keep that one open. And I want to register for attention management next week. Okay, so I'm going to click register. I'm already registered. All right, I'm going to click something else. Let me start in January. I want to register for emotional intelligence. Okay. So one of the things that we like about this system, that it's going to be much easier from past systems, is that once you're logged in, it's smart. So there's less work you have to do. If this little timer up here bugs you, just close it out. We asked if there was a way to take it off and they told us no. So, so I'm logged in as Sam. So here's all of Sam's information. So it's pretty easy that it's already in there. If there's any changes, I can make those. Okay, so cancellation refund policy. I'm going to go ahead. That looks all the same. And I'm going to hit next. Before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about a hack that we heard about. So the one thing is, if I register as Sam, I have to only see his professional development as Sam. If you want to be able to see it a little easier, you can change this here, but it would still kind of be tied to Sam in the background. So one of the things we're doing is trying to see if there's reports we can get to you all that might make it easier for you to see the professional development in real time, because that's one of the things we were really excited about. We get a lot of questions at the end of your membership year, you know, who has taken it. Now you're going to be able to see that directly, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. So I'm going to register Sam. I'm going to go next. You can see here that your discount is automatically taken off. So as Sam, I'm going to register for Mindful Manager, and it would be $115 if I was public, but since I'm a Sweet Deal member, it's $0. Okay, so now I can either save and finalize, or I can register multiple people at once. And this is one thing that I think you're going to like. So I want to register Sam and Elvis. Okay, this is a little shorter. So we've made the guest one a little shorter. So now I'm going to have Elvis Presley. And I do have to have an email. I forgot his email, so I'm just going to use mine. Okay, and he is also with ABC Organization. And I can't remember what we had Elvis as, so let's say he's the controller. Okay, so he's going to take this as well. I can keep adding. I can add another one and another one and another one, or I can just finalize. Okay, oh, I have to do a ticket. So you have to click this little button. It's just one of the requirements, and then save and finalize. It's going to take me to the checkout. This is where you would put in your payment. You can pay by credit card. You can request to send in a check, and then we'll make sure you get that invoice. But this is a free one, so I don't have to do anything there. I'm going to confirm everything is correct. I have 2 mindful managers on this, one for me and one for Elvis. Or one for Sam, excuse me, and one for Elvis. And I'm going to complete the order. And thank you. So this person is now going to get an email confirmation with the Zoom link information. Super, super important. If you are not set up to safely get all of our emails, you're not going to get those. That seems to have been the biggest issue we've been having. We're working on, fixing some of the issues on our end, as far as our email, reputation, so it goes through. But please check your spam folder. If you still don't see it, it means your IT department has a very strong firewall and it's stopping it from getting to us, which means they won't even get the confirmations. So now from here, though, I can see, unfortunately, this doesn't show the Zoom link on this confirmation. It's just a confirmation of the event I'm in. So I can open that, I can print it. I can also look at the receipt. So if I need to send this maybe to my HR manager, this one is paid because it's free. And then this is my event registration. So now this is going to take me to everything I'm registered for. So I can see I'm registered for attention management next week. I'm registered for something in December. or yeah, other also next week, Volunteer Essentials and Sam, and I'm registered for talent acquisition. And now this one I just registered for, and you can see here that I registered for the guest. So this is going to show up on Elvis's as well as mine.
Hey Angie, we have two questions in the chat.
Mhm.
First one is it possible to include the pricing schedule within the upcoming events header instead of on the next page?
Yes, I have started doing that. So if I go back to this workshop page, if I go to Microsoft Excel, Advanced, if you scroll down, you have the pricing right there.
Great. And then the next question will be, will Sam get a copy of Elvis's receipt?
Yes, because Sam, because it's one receipt. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, those are great questions. Anything else related to exactly what we've been talking about?
Well, a follow-up for the first question, asking, could it be the list on the very first, could it be listed on the very first page?
On the workshop on this page?
For the pricing on just this main page, Angie.
Correct.
We can't, we're very limited on what goes right here. It can't be there. What we would have to do, we have pretty consistent pricing, so we could have something here, like up at the top, that I can edit that, if that would be helpful, but it doesn't let us put it here, unfortunately. This is dedicated, you know, by the system. They dictate that. And I think some of them, like I should have them. Yeah, so like this one, I need to update this one because it doesn't have it. We realized that when we got that is if I read, and here it says that as I'm signed in and I'm already registered, which is kind of nice. Then we don't have duplicate registrations like we used to have. But it's very unfortunate that we don't see the price until we get to the register unless I put it here. I can look into putting it up here. It'll just be a lot more text because our 2-day workshops kind of have a certain price, our 1-day workshops. And then of course our mindful managers are free to Sweet Deal members. Would that be helpful to people if we had some more pricing information here? I know in our original it was right there and that was really handy, but unfortunately we can't do that here. But let us know. Okay. Any other questions so far? Because I'm going to get into a few other issues here, particularly how to cancel, which is a little confusing. We admit we're not happy about it, but this is the way our system works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm trying to be mindful of time as well, but I will be available for questions even after this. We were trying to keep it for 45 minutes so you'd have a little time during your lunch, but if we need more time, I'm willing to take it. So let me show you what happens if I need to cancel Sam's registration. The way you do that is, first of all, I'm going to go to the FAQ page, and it does have a how do I cancel my registration? Okay, so you click on how do I cancel my registration? Please cancel it if you need to, if you're not going to be able to attend. So when you log in, you're directed to the workshop page. This is if you log in as a person, like as an individual. So then you'd get to the workshops, and right here under event registrations, which is where I'm at, it says use this pencil to update your information. So I'm going to go back to here. I've realized I can't attend this one. I'm going to have to edit it. So I'm going to edit my entry. There's no cancel button, which is maddening for us. We're sorry about that, but this is how we have been told it has to work. So you edit your registration. So it's going to pop up my registration again. This is also how I change my email address or something. And then down here, the very bottom, under more actions, if I click on more actions, cancel this registrant. You see that? So I'll just take you through that one more time because it's confusing, but it's important. So I need to cancel something. I go to account and settings, payment and history, event registration, and then the pencil. And once that pops it open, I go down to the bottom to more actions and cancel this registrant. A pop-up box is going to happen. You know, are you sure you want to do this? I'm going to say, yes, I'm sure. I'm okay. Now, this one was easy to register, or easy to cancel because it was a free one. If it's a paid one, Zanny will get an automatic email and then she'll process the refund. Okay, so that's how it works, right, Zanny?
Yes, it does. I have to go into another system and do the refund, and then it will take a few days for it to hit your account. But yes, that's how it
But
works.
yeah, but that does happen automatically.
Yes.
So yeah, great. So one of the things that it says here too, though, is, so it's down here under more actions. If I'm following the FAQ document, click cancel, and it says a pop-up will ask you to confirm yes. And then it says here, note, it will refresh the page to the start of the registration page, but the cancellation will be processed. We have checked that, we've tested it. It's very odd, but it does go back to this page. But if I go back to my profile, so I'm still Sam, account and settings. I go to payments and history, event registrations. This will start getting easier, I promise. It doesn't show up anymore. So there's nothing that says you're canceled. It is a little disconcerting. If you ever have, concerns, you can always ask us, email, and we will confirm that, yes, I checked, you're canceled. But if you look on your upcoming events, that's where you'll see that it's not there. Okay. So one of the things we talked about is that you can also see your people's professional development. So I want to show that as well. And then we'll wrap up here unless there's more questions. So real quickly, I have to be logged in as Sam. And then I can see everything that Sam has completed. So journal entries here are workshops he's taken. So Sam has actually completed all of these mindful managers in the certificate. So he doesn't need to register for anymore. And so if I go to certifications, this is under professional development, certifications, I can see that Sam has completed his mindful manager certificate. If I click this little blue dot, it'll bring up his certificate. So you can print your own, you can download it, you can post it to social media, you can send it to your manager. This will pop up and then I can print it from there. If I'm not done, this button won't show up. It'll say I'm incomplete or in progress. And then I can click on it and see what it is about the certificate and when some more workshop sessions are coming up. So these are all of the ones that are scheduled. Okay. I can also see non-mindful manager. I mean, if he was registered for anything else. Okay.
Angie, really quick, Laura just sent a really good question, but she sent it to me. So I just wanted to tell everyone, how far back is the portal going to show? For example, if I completed my mindful manager in 2019, will it be in the portal? And I can help answer some of that question.
Yeah, you go ahead, Zanny, because you're in charge of this. The answer is yes, but I'll let Zanny.
The answer is yes. We are working on migrating all of our old data into this new system. So everyone's mindful manager completion should be updated and in there. So if you have anyone that took it and you want to see if they've completed their mindful manager and print their certificate, you should be able to do that. And we're still working on all of the other classes that you may have taken. Those will live in a few different places, but yes, you should be able to see all of the mindful managers right now, and then the rest of the classes will be migrated over as soon as I can, essentially.
Yeah, so and we're going back to, I believe, 2017, right, Zanny? I think we're going to go. So if you took anything before 2017, it's in our old database. So you would have to contact us about that.
Yes.
But we're bringing over a 2017 and recent. The mindful managers are there. We're working on some of the other things. So the mindful managers and any other certificate like a learning group, like Idea Learning Group or Manager Learning Group, those would be found in professional development. the certificate in nonprofit management, those can be found here. Any of the other classes you want to see, have I taken Excel? Have I taken, becoming an upstander? Those are going to be found in, I believe we're going to put them, for past, this is past, like old ones. It's going to be a section in your profile here. And he doesn't have any there, so it hasn't showed up yet. But otherwise, you'll find them in professional development in the journal. These are all the ones moving forward, and we are bringing some things over. So good question. Okay, so we are, I want to honor everybody's time. That is essentially what I wanted to show you. It is the basics, but I know it's been kind of hard to make sure, where do I go? How do I do this? As you have questions, please reach out to Zanny or myself. We're very happy to help and to answer them. We've set up this system to be more self-service because we have to for us to be sustainable and keep going. But of course, during the transition, we don't want anyone to be overly frustrated. So please reach out. We're very willing to help, as always. We want to make this as painless as possible. We know that technology sometimes isn't just the way it goes, and we really appreciate your grace and your patience and learning this new system with us. There's some things that we absolutely love about it, and like everything, there's some things we don't love, but overall we're really excited because it's going to free up not only a lot of our time, it's going to give you a lot more control over your membership, and like we were showing, it also will allow us to be more networky and be able to optimize some of the features of the feed and that kind of thing, and groups, and getting you really together. So it's not just registering for workshops. That's mainly what we do, but we don't want that to be all that we do, of course. So we want to be your nonprofit stop for nonprofit solutions. Okay, any other questions for the good of the group I can help with before you go? Well, thank you all so much for your time. I believe you have my email address. It's ameyer@npsolutions.org, zmiranda@npsolutions.org if you need Zanny. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes, though, if you have any questions. So Tyler, at this point, you can stop the recording and we'll be here.